Hey boys and girls, today is Monday the 18th of May. We are working with 5th grade division with decimals. And this is our final week of the school year. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, your multiplication table is going to be very important. And we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of ways that we're going to divide with decimals. But the key idea that we're going to talk about today, guys, is the remainders. Now in 5th grade, you should have no remainders. But sometimes it might get tricky and you might have to leave a remainder. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that, okay? So as always, guys, we're working with does McDonald's sell burgers? I can go over this a little bit faster because we've seen this for a while now, okay? So I'm going to put my multiples, guys, and I'm going to show you to put your multiples on your left-hand side this time. And you're going to see why in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to do my multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to go ahead and get started and divide, guys. Can my 4 go into the 0? No, so your answer is going to be a 0. You still got to multiply 4 times 0, which gives you 0. And you subtract, you're left with 0. Now, here's a very important part. What do I do with my decimal? Should I bring it up or should I bring it down? I'm going to bring it up because this is where my answer is going to be, okay? I'm doing nothing special with the decimal. All I have to do is bring it up. Now I have a new number, 9. How many times can 4 can go into 9? Yeah, 2 times. 4 times 2 is going to be 8. I'm going to subtract. I'm left with 1. Bring down my 6. Which one of these numbers can go into 16? Oh, there's a 16 here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 4 is going to be 16. I subtract, and I'm left with no remainders. So we already found our answer. And we have no remainders, which is good. That's what we want to find. Now, that's a fairly easy division problem. I'm going to show you how it might look later on. Now, what do we do when we do have a remainder and we have to get rid of it? So this is how you're going to solve it. As always, guys, you're using Does McDonald's Sell Burgers to help you solve it. And I'm going to continue to put my multiples on the left-hand side. And you're going to see why in just a bit. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. For these guys, you can use your fingers, you can use your multiples, mental math, whatever it is, just so it can help you with your multiples. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started by dividing, guys. Can my 8 go into the 2? No, it's too big, right? So I'm going to put a 0. 8 times 0 is still 0. I got to subtract it. I am left with the 2. I'm going to bring down my 5. I have a new number, 25. How many times can 8 go into 25? 3 times. So that's going to give me a 24. I still have to subtract. I'm left with 1. I'm not done though. I have more numbers. I'm going to bring down my 6. It gives me 16. Ooh, look, I have a perfect 16 here. That's 2 times. So I'm going to put my 2 on top. 8 times 2 is going to be 16. Subtract. I'm left with zeros. I'm not done though. I have my decimal. What do we do with the decimal? We have to bring it up right there in the same location. And I bring down my 6. Oh, can 8 go into 6? Can I do 6 minus 8? Does that make sense? No, the 8 is too big, right? So what do we put on top? A 0. 8 times 0 is 0. We subtract. I'm still left with 6. Now, remember how I said we cannot have remainders? So how do we get rid of it? Now, the way that you're going to get rid of it, guys, is you're going to start adding zeros to your number. And we're going to bring down that 0. We're going to continue this process. We're going to bring it down, and now I have 60. Okay, so how many times can 8 go into 60? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put my 7 right there. 8 times 7 is going to be 56. I'm going to subtract, and I'm left with 4. Do I still have a remainder? Yes, so what do you think I have to do? I have to add another 0. And now I have another number, 40. How many times can 8 go into 40? Oh, look, I have a 40 right here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 times 5 is going to be 40. I subtract, and I'm left with no remainder. Did I find my answer? Yes. Did I have to add zeros? Yes. So another trick, guys, when you're working with with remainders and you want to get rid of them, you can only add 2 zeros, which is what I did here. I added 2. That's going to be an unspoken rule when you get to 5th grade math. Okay, I'm going to show you something else that you might see in 5th grade math, and it's okay. Now, remember how I told you you should have no remainders? Sometimes you're going to have to leave the remainder, and this is why. So we're going to put our multiples of 6. You can use your mental math, your multiplication table, or your fingers. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. And I'm going to stop right there. Now we're going to get dividing. Can 6 go into 8? Yes, one time, right? 6 times 1 is going to be 6. Subtract, we're left with 2. Bring down to 0. Can 6 go into 20? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 3 times. 6 times 3 is going to be 18. I subtract, I'm left with 2. Look at the decimal. What do we do with it? Bring it straight up. So now we're going to bring down our 6. We have 26. How many times can 6 go into 26? 4 times. 6 times 4 is going to be 24. I subtract, I'm left with 2. Now, what do we say with the other problem, guys? We have to add a 0, right, to get rid of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add my 0, bring it down, and I get 20. How many times can 6 go into 20? 1, 2, 3. So 6 times 3 is going to be 18. I'm going to subtract. I am left with 2. Oh, isn't that just kind of like this 2 right here? And if I add another 0, which I can, because I can add 2, and I bring it down, I'm going to get 20 again. Kind of like this 20. So I'm going to get another 20. So what do you think I can subtract it by? 18, which is another 3. Subtract, I'm left with 2. Well, the process is just repeating. I'm going to keep on going. 20 minus 18, 20 minus 18. It's never going to end. That means that you have to have a remainder of 2. Notice that I already added my 2 zeros right here. After 2 zeros, if your answer does not change and you cannot get rid of the remainder, then you leave the remainder. Okay, so there's 3 different ways you can see it. The very, very easy way, a way to get rid of your entire remainder, and there might be sometimes that you can get rid of your remainder and you have to leave it there, and that's okay, as long as you're remembering that you can add 2 zeros to your number. Okay, that's going to be it for Monday, guys. Make sure that when you submit your answers on Teams that you put that decimal and you put those extra numbers that you added on top as well. And today's keyword, guys, is going to be Math Genius. Have a good Monday, guys.